Okay, it's 6 p.m. We'll call our meeting to order. Start with pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you have roll call, please, Maureen?
Mrs. Rayold? Here. Mrs. Hett? Here. Mr. Davis? Here. Mrs. Lee? Here. Mr. Bemble?
Here.
Mrs. Medina? Here. Mr. Crane?
Here. Thank you, Maureen. Today I get the privilege of having special recognition of district retirees. So tonight we have 3 with us. We'll start with Kim Marshall Melby. Come up, Kim. Thank you.
Hi. Welcome. Good to see you.
This is for you.
Thank you.
Kim Marshall Melby has been teaching in the Wisconsin Rapids public school system for 30 years. She spent 5 years teaching at Rudolph and the remainder of her career at Washington Elementary. Each year, Kim has organized several student activities outside the classroom at Washington, including the Next Box Club in the spring, as well as the Earth Bracelet Business Club. She has also been involved in the Garden and Outdoor Classroom Committee, Social Studies CII, and the Family Garden Festival Committee. Kim enjoys biking, walking, running, and volunteering for the local food pantry. During her retirement, she plans to continue her involvement in education as well as do some traveling and seek out other adventures. Kim is proud to be a teacher for WRPS and will miss her 4th grade classroom. Thank you, Kim, for your dedication to our school district. We wish you all the best as you retire. Thank you. Certificate from Tony Evers, the State Superintendent of Public Instruction, in recognition of 30 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people. These contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. Thank you, Kim. Congratulations. Next, Steve Slattery. Thanks, Steve. Steve Slattery began his career at Consolidated Papers, where he was employed for 8 years prior to becoming a teacher at Rudolph Elementary. Steve has been teaching at Rudolph for 24 years. Steve has been involved in several social studies and science committees. He says of his time with WRPS, "I have enjoyed working with many of the WRPS staff. I have gone from an idealist to a realist concerning what teachers can accomplish. My belief in the importance of public schools to the future for this country has only increased." Steve plans to continue to work part-time and enjoy some traveling, as well as make improvements to his woodlot. Thank you for your service to WRPS, Steve, and congratulations on your retirement. And you as well have a certificate of acknowledgement from the Department of Public Instruction, Tony Evers, in recognition of 24 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people. These contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation. So thank you, Steve. Congratulations on your retirement. Sue Johnson. Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
Sue Johnson has been teaching at Washington Elementary for 24 years. She started at Washington as a 5th grade teacher, working in this role for 5 years. Sue then began teaching 6th grade and continued teaching that grade level for 5 years before finishing out her career as a 4th grade teacher for the past 14 years. Over the years, Sue has been very involved with the WRPS community and has served on several curriculum committees. She was a school play director and school council co-leader at Washington. Sue has also served on the board of directors for the Boys and Girls Club. When Sue's children were attending in the WRPS district, she participated and chaired several committees, including Class Reunion Zero and the LHS Music Parents Group. She has also been an active Booster Club mom. Sue plans to spend more time with her husband, children, and grandchildren when she retires. She looks forward to getting reorganized at home and making daily exercise more of a routine. Sue's Washington family will miss her greatly. We all want to wish her the very best in her retirement. And from Tony Evers, in recognition of 24 years of commitment and service to the educational well-being of our young people, these contributions are acknowledged with this expression of grateful appreciation.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your retirement.
Thank you.
Some big shoes to fill in those buildings. So congratulations in your retirement.
special Board of Education meeting open and closed of June 12th, the regular Board of Education meeting of June 12th, and the special Board of Education meeting in the budget period of June 26th as approved as printed.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the special Board of Education open and closed session meeting minutes of June 12th, the regular Board of Education meeting minutes of June 12th, and the special Board of Education budget hearing meeting minutes of June 26th. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Comments from citizens. Do we have any tonight, Ray?
None.
Okay. Moving to committee reports. Business services. John.
Thank you, John. Business Services met on Monday, July 5th. We started the meeting at 6 o'clock. There was no public comment. There was no public.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I'm sorry. Wednesday, John. Exactly. That's how long it took business. Personal services. We have one consent agenda item, and I certainly hope nobody wants it held up. What we have is a donation from the Light of Christ Church. They have provided to Washington Elementary School in the past for upgrades to playground equipment and UV and technology in the cafeteria area. The church approached Principal Kelly Schaefer from Washington to present another donation. This time it's a $15,000 laser video system to be used in the gymnasium. Proposed pricing was a list price of $20,000. They got it after discounts for $15,000, and it's an Epson Pro laser projector. In the past, they had been using the cafeteria for their services. However, they're taking the people and getting needed more space, so they've asked if they could use a gymnasium and upgrading the video projector in the gymnasium. So this is quite the donation to our school district, and the committee certainly recommends that I move that we accept the proposal from the donation of Light of Christ Church for $15,226.50 for the video system installation at Washington Elementary School gymnasium.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve a very generous donation from Light of Christ Church totaling $15,226.50 for video system installation in the Washington Elementary School gymnasium. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Then the balance of our meeting was purchase reviews for financial, payroll, human resources software licenses, a new used van for our from Bruns and South for maintenance, and then the Microsoft window leases for our business systems. And we had no future business agenda items identified, so the committee recommends and I move that we accept the balance of the meeting minutes.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve the meeting minutes from the Business Service Committee of July 5th, 2017. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. John, let's go on to the Personnel Services. Sandy.
Personnel Services met on Wednesday, July 5th, 2017. We had no public comment at that meeting. We have 8 consent agenda items from that meeting, and they are as follows. The committee recommends and I move to approve the 3 professional staff appointments. And if you remember, we had quite a loss of special education teachers. These all have either majors or minors in that field, so that's fantastic. 2, the committee recommends and I move to approve the 2 support staff appointments. And the one from Think Academy is just a new need because we're having some growth out there. 3, the committee recommends and I move to approve the 2 support staff early retirements. 4, the committee recommends and I move to approve Board Policy 458, Student Wellness, for second reading. 5th, the committee recommends and I move to approve Board Policy 458, Rural Nutrition Guidelines, for second reading. 6th, the committee recommends and I move to approve Board Policy 760, Rural Food Services Management Guidelines, for second reading. 7th, the committee recommends and I move to approve the athletic co-curricular pay rate percentages as presented to the committee to take effect with the start of the 2017-18 school year. What we had was some of these coaches have not had calculations. And the big thing is we have separated soccer at the middle school level with boys and girls. They have to be, it used to be co-ed, now they have to be separate. 8, the committee recommends, and I move to approve $36,500 as the new base wage calculator to be used with the athletic co-curricular pay percentages rates to calculate wages for district coaching positions, beginning with the start of the 2017-18 school year, with the exception that coaches are currently employed in a coaching position prior to the 2017-18 school year shall maintain the wage received in the 2016 school year, so long as they maintain continuous employment in the coaching position, and the 2016-17 wage rate is higher than the wage calculated in 2017-18 and thereafter. We don't want anybody to take a step back with this new wage calculation. And Ryan, you want to,
So does that mean it's decreasing?
what?
Is it decreasing number then?
No, it's going to cost approximately about almost $26,000 more for the more positions and the new base wage.
Yeah, there are two different components to this, John. The first being that there are some adjustments to the percent assignments, per assignment, I should say, which in and of itself results in some increased impact on the budget because of the addition of some new positions. For example, what Sandy was referring to is our athletic conference has made a change effective next year, moving to having the middle school soccer program follow the high school schedule. Previously, there was boys and girls happening concurrently in the fall time of the year. It is going to be separated out at the middle school level for interscholastic competition, that the boys middle school will follow boys high school season in fall. Girls middle school will be placed in the spring. So that alone created the need to duplicate the number of coaching assignments to divide those two programs out. The second component to this is what the calculator is for the pay rate. Co-curricular pay has been frozen since the last teacher collective bargaining agreement that we had, in which at that time co-curricular payment was tied to the teacher contract previously. So that's what Sandy's referring to when she says that we haven't had a pay increase for 6 years. The one other detail, and what is specifically related to on that last component to the motion on nobody getting paid less, is that teacher pay, when it was tied to the teacher co-curricular pay, when it was tied to the teacher contract, had some longevity components to it. We don't have longevity pay anymore as part of our wages for positions. However, people who were in positions at the time that Act 10 went into place, if they had longevity pay, have maintained that as long as they maintain continuous employment in those positions. So there are some coaches who have been working since that time that if we eliminated the longevity component and just went with the new rates, they would actually take a cut in pay. So at some point in time, if that calculator continues to increase, it will surpass their current rate at that point in time, then they'll move to the new rate and thereafter.
One question.
Yes.
I continue to believe that educators are the best coaches because they not only always concentrate on winning, but also concentrate on learning and cooperating and being a full citizen in the athletic field. Does this discourage educators to continue to coach?
I would say no. And I think as we look at continuing to perhaps increase wages over time, I think that's more incentive for them to be involved. The one other component that I'd ask the board to keep in mind is that traditionally those percentages, the calculator for those percentages followed the base salary, the teacher salary schedule, which we don't have anymore. The new structure of these pay rates would be set up to perhaps at some point in time follow our entry-level teacher pay. To do that now, in the current entry level established for the fall is $40,000. To make that immediate jump after we've been frozen for 6 years would be a very significant impact on the budget. So the idea that the committee came up with is to increase it for next year, but just a little over $1,000. The last motion that Sandy was referring to is a recommendation of moving the calculator to 36,500. Right now, it's 35,400. We had talked about maybe moving it to 37.5, which is the last year's entry-level teacher pay, but the impact would be even greater. I mean, we've already got a pretty big increase coming. I shouldn't say big, but there's obviously an increase by the percent adjustments, the adjustments to the percentages for the assignments. So to minimize the overall impact, that's what the final recommendation came out of, was increasing that calculator by $1,100 from what it currently is set at.
I'll second those motions.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve PS1 through PS8. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
And then updates, reports, we did some preliminary discussion on substitute teacher pay raises. This is going to be coming back in the future, and we've asked that we can get some comparable information from surrounding districts and those in the conference. On employee wage and benefit compensation considerations, we discussed wage increase and potential benefit adjustments for our confidential employees. This includes holidays, vacations, eye care and physical exam, and the early retirement insurance selections. And this is something that's also going to be brought up in the future. We made no recommendation came out of it. And then we also discussed the wage increase for the office clerical and aid support staff. And the administration has been looking at a differentiated wage rate increase when it comes to this group of support people. And that's also be coming forward in the near future. So with that, I move that the minutes from the Personnel Services Committee meeting be approved as printed.
I'll second that.
Okay, there's
Another comment on the nutrition guidelines. I hope that we don't step backwards, even though we're able to do so according to the federal or the FDA or the organization that controls it. The nutrition guidelines were good, and we are reaching them, and I don't want us to go backwards. So I hope that we continue in the right direction.
Like the wellness policy was mostly language changes. There wasn't really anything. I see
Well,
nothing that's really.
That's
Well, when Lizzie brought it forward to us at the business services meeting, and she gave us the presentation, she did state that there wasn't a lot of changes that were coming forward because it was just so brand new. So really, there's nothing changed, and she figured it'd be maybe 1 to 3 years before something would be stable. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. I think there were pretty minimal changes that were, kind of allowed with this, what Sunny Purdue had implemented, and mainly was that the sodium levels are staying the same that they have been since the Healthy Hunger Free Kids Act was implemented, so that's not changing. We can change the, chocolate milk to be 1% instead of skim. I think because of our milk distributor, we're just going to stay the same with that. And then there was some flexibility with the with whole grains being, half of them being white instead of wheat. But again, like you mentioned, since students have really gotten accustomed to the wheat bread, wheat grain, pastas, things like that, we're planning to keep them the same. So, the wellness policy really didn't address that, but I appreciate your support for us to continue, with the guidelines or with the way that we're operating.
Yeah, those recommendations really were per federal guidelines and regulations that we have to follow as part of our participation in the program.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve the meeting minutes of the Personnel Services Committee of July 5th, 2017. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Cancel.
We adjourned at 6:55.
An hour meeting.
On July 5th.
Go ahead, services, and.
Okay, Ed Services met on Wednesday, July 5th at 6:58. There was no public comment. We had 2 consent agenda items. Does anyone want either of those held up? Okay. Our first consent agenda item was about pupil academic standards. And Kathy Stebbins-Hintz, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction, explained that Wisconsin State statute requires the Board of Education to review and approve curriculum standards that will be taught in the upcoming school year. She highlighted changes to the standards document. And then we went on to our driver education vendor, and Kathy shared that 3 vendors submitted a proposal for driver education at Lincoln High School. Proposals were reviewed by the administration, and preferred driver education was selected for the 2017-18 school year based on previous work with surrounding districts, student fees, vehicles, and hours. So with that, the committee recommends, and I move adoption of ES1 and ES2.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve ES1 and ES2. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
We went on to updates, and the first update was a science update about the Woodlot project and also about the City Pond Partnership. And Dave Bergeson, who was LHS science teacher and WRPS science coordinator, shared information regarding the 2 initiatives. He reviewed steps taken to implement the Woodlot project at Lincoln High School. Greg Beziner Excavating donated their time and equipment to clear the 3/4-acre plot that is being developed into a prairie that had a lot of buckthorn on it. And so that was actually quite a large donation. Community members wrote grants for benches that were assembled by Carson Allison. And final steps before completion in September or October include spraying for weeds, buckthorn, and honeysuckle, completing the kiosk, and identifying and labeling plants. And then this woodlot will become cross-country ski trails that the public is welcome to use if it's not school hour. And then Scott Stankowski, who is our Lincoln High School science teacher, is heading the City Pond Partnership Project. It is hoped that at a minimum, on-site storage would be available. Ideally, a shelter with a picnic table and handicap dock would be built. The City of Wisconsin Rapids developed an agreement with WRPS for the City Pond Project. For $1, WRPS will be given full access to the pond for educational purposes. And next steps include reviewing and signing the agreement with the city and applying for grants. And this pond is over by the BMX, that's it, track or racing place. Okay, so those were 2 very interesting topics. Then we went on to the Achievement Gap Reduction, or AGR, annual report. And Ms. Stebbins-Hintz shared a handout and discussed information with the committee on how the district met our AGR contract requirements. And then we discussed the WRPS Mental Health and Behavior Committee update, and Kathy and Matt Green, Director of Pupil Services, provided an overview of the goals and accomplishments of the committee during the 2016-17 school year. And I'd just like to say once again, we are just blown away by all the wonderful things that our teachers and our staff do for the kids. The amount of health and behavior problems that we have is just skyrocketing, and we're so glad to have the leadership of Matt and Kathy help us with those with the kids. My husband said when I left, do good things for the kids. So we're doing good things for those kids. So the committee recommends, and I move the adoption of the rest of the Ed Services Committee minutes.
Okay, we have motion and a second to approve the Educational Services Committee meeting minutes of July 5th, 2017. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes are approved. Thank you, ma'am. On to agenda referrals. Does anybody have anything this month?
Could we, at the end of the summer, just get a head count on how many kids partake of the breakfast that were free and the
next we'll move on to the legislative agenda. Do you have anything, John?
There's a couple things. One is the Assembly is releasing a sweeping prepaid funding plan. Senate GOP leader labels proposal non-starter. They're fighting it down there, and I'm not sure what's going on. But the Assembly's part was a full prepaid of 150 next year, 200 in 2018-19. As we know, the governor proposed 200 in 2017-18 and 204 in 2018-19. This is all on the WASB site. I printed off. It's actually 13 pages, but this kind of hits the other things. There's a low revenue adjustment increase from 9,100 per pupil to 9,800, and I don't think that affects us. Scheduling school referenda, sparsity aid, special education, open enrollment transfer amounts. They want to evaluate that. WASB is evaluating that and opposing it. Some other special aid came, whole grade sharing categorical aid, high cost school breakfast programs, early college credit programs, statewide private school choice, prior year dependent. This would add a criterion which allow a pupil to apply to attend a private school under the statewide choice voucher in the previous school year, but was placed on the waiting list and unable to participate as a result of the school district participation limit. Under the bill, the additional criterion would be added to allow the pupil to attend a school in another state in the prior year to participate in the program. In another state? Are you kidding? They want to put people in other states now? And there's a couple other ones on here. Accountabilities. The civics or pen assessment requirement for high school graduation increases in the passing score from 60 out of 100 to 80 out of 100. So those are the things that the Assembly is pushing through the Senate, but the Senate doesn't sound like they're going to let it go through. The other thing is that did we get, it says here the July 1, DPI gave us the general aid numbers.
Yes, they put out an estimate, but that's just purely an estimate.
Yeah. So they estimated that. Our new report outlines the impact of Senate health care reform bill on Medicaid, basically saying that the bill would be 26% or roughly $160 billion lower in 2026 than under current law, and then the gap would widen to about 35% in 2036 if what goes through in Congress right now happens. Thing is that there are two bills. One is regarding competitive bidding bill where we require school districts to do a competitive bid for school construction projects scheduled. And then there's a bill to counter property tax reduction strategies. And that deals with, I'm not quite sure all the details, but it would change how big box stores and certain national pharmacy chains are assessed for property tax purposes in Wisconsin, so it's trying to help us. That, I think, will try to help us get property taxes, compete with these big corporate stores like Walmart's and CVS and Walgreens pay more taxes in the state. So that would help offset for the local people to have these people pay the property taxes. Other than that, that's it.
Well, there's a Republican, I don't know if he's in the Assembly or the Senate, that wants to make it an elective gun safety. And it could be an elective, but we have to develop the curriculum, and they'd like that developed before the 2017-18 school year.
And allow school to go in school.
So, somebody must just sit up late at night trying to think of what they can bring forward as a bill with their name on it. It's just something to watch because, it's a Republican and you get passed.
I don't know if it would do any good to call Senator Johnson and ask him about the health care bill. But I don't know. I can't imagine what this is going to do to poor people in this country if it's passed in its present form. Because it's sad if it ever gets passed. It would be a step back for the period.
Well, if you want anything as far as you go to the WASB advocacy site, and they have plenty of letters and form letters and stuff that you can, and actually links, or if you want to send it to any of the state or federal people, anything you're thinking of is probably there. You stuff that comes into your mailbox. Several times in the past 2 or 3 months, we've gotten stuff where they provide the link, and all they do is put in the link, and you can send a letter to our legislature regarding your feelings on certain things. But it's there. If you want to use the technology, it's there, and very simple to use.
Thanks for the report, John. We'll move on to bills.
I would make a motion that the receipts be noted and the bills be paid as printed.
Okay, there's a motion and a second that the receipts be noted and bills paid as printed. We have roll call, please, Marie.
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mrs. Head?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Rayo?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Crane?
Yes. Thank you, Marie. Moving to new business. Item 8, possible action on employee appointment and resignation requests.
Prior to the start of the meeting, Maureen distributed a listing that we had of 2 additional resignations, unfortunately, 2 additional resignations that have come forward since we had our committee meetings last week, or I should say at least before our agenda went to print and was posted. Both of the individuals listed here, unfortunately, are leaving us for jobs in other school districts. Both of the 2 have submitted payment for the liquidated damage requirements for breaking contract. So the administration does recommend approval of the 2 resignations. Christine Mitchell is a business education teacher at the high school, and Kate Maloney, a physical education teacher at East Junior High.
And the coach.
Yes, and yes, both have been involved in co-curricular activities. Yeah.
I would move that these 2 professional staff resignations be accepted as printed.
Second?
Okay, we have motion and second to approve the 2 professional staff resignations. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried. Item B, discussion and possible action to approve a supplemental pay increase for the purposes of retaining individual professional staff employees.
This agenda item ties back to a discussion, an update topic that the Personnel Services Committee had back in June. I updated the committee at that time that I had some ongoing conversations with a few of our business education teachers in the district based on their approaching me related to some requests on some possible supplemental pay increases for them because business education is one of these areas, one of these hard to fill areas in which wages have gotten pretty competitive out there. I indicated to the committee at that time that I had anticipated coming back in August at our committee meeting with a proposal. Timing has become a little bit more of essence to perhaps act on this situation sooner. So we did have this item added to the agenda for our regular board meeting here this evening. Unfortunately, the resignations that you just approved is one of the individuals that I've had some ongoing conversations with. And Christina Mitchell did leave because she had a better contract offer at another school district and is leaving for a pretty significant pay increase over what her current wages were with us here in the school district. Another one of those individuals that I've had conversations with is a second different business education teacher at the high school, Ashley Tessmer is that individual. Based on those ongoing conversations, I am coming forward this evening with a recommendation that the board consider approving a $5,000 recurring supplemental pay increase to her contracted wages, taking effect with next school year, the 17-18 school year. That would, in effect, then mean a $5,000 supplemental increase above and beyond what our current rate is at. This is intended to be an increase for the purposes of retaining in an effort to provide a contract that will be better able to retain her as a teacher in the district. She has been with us. We hired her, I think she just completed her 9th school year. I believe she started in the fall of 2007. So Ashley has been with us for quite a while and is very heavily involved in DECA. In the business marketing co-curricular areas. Ashley is also the teacher that helped start and supervises the new Wolf Den store that began at the high school this last year. So if there are any questions related to that, I'll do my best best to answer those. Again, this has been an ongoing topic with the Personnel Services Committee for a while.
What district did business services include?
Christina Mitchell is taking a job in the Westfield School District. That's actually where we hired her from 2 years ago. They've been recruiting her, enticing her to return back to the district there at a pretty good wage increase. I don't obviously have an exact number, but it's a good increase.
That's very good.
And we did do an increase for our tech ed department too.
We did a supplemental pay increase of this nature a few years ago for 3 of our tech ed teachers. That increase recurring supplemental increase was also $5,000, intended for the same purposes as the retention strategy.
I would make a motion to approve an additional recurring supplemental wage increase of $5,000 for Ashley Tessmer, beginning with the 2017-18 school year.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve an additional recurring supplemental wage increase of $5,000 for Ashley Tessmer beginning with the 2017-18 school year. Can we have roll call, please, Marie?
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mrs. Medina?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Hett?
Yes.
Mrs. Raयल?
Yes.
Mr. Krings?
Yes. Maureen, item C, motion to approve entering into a contract with Nexus Solutions for energy conservation and capital improvement projects.
2 weeks ago, you had a presentation from Nexus Solutions on proposal to our projects at the Lincoln High School to bring the energy systems of the high school up to today's standards. Most of them are 40 years old and are in need of some upgrades. And we indicated at that meeting 2 weeks ago that we would bring this forward for your approval tonight. And if you have any questions, we do have a representative from Nexus, Jeff Mangan, and I'll leave it at that. Do you want to say anything? Is that one?
I would just like to say that item C is essentially the AIA agreement, right, Dan?
Yes.
For the improvements that will be made as part of the new additions, the wrestling and gymnastics areas, including the pool. And then item D is the performance contract for the other improvements made to the balance of Lincoln High School, for which we presented on the 26th.
I would move we approve entering into a contract with Nexus Solutions for energy conservation and capital improvements as
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second to enter into a contract with Nexus Solutions for energy conservation and capital improvement projects. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to item D, approve projects as proposed to be completed by Nexus at Lincoln High School.
Yes, item D is projects that we would go ahead and are part of the project that's going on right now. The construction is being done, things like that.
I would make a motion.
Can I just add, does this
Sure.
include the other projects that we discussed at the meeting?
That would have been part of C.
That's part C?
Yeah.
So that's, all right. Thank you.
We separated the two out just because of funding and timelines and
Okay, I make a motion to approve projects as proposed to be completed by Nexus Solutions at Lincoln High School for energy efficiency and capital improvements.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve all projects as proposed to be completed by Nexus Solutions at Lincoln High School for energy efficiency and capital improvements. Can we have roll call, please, Marie?
Mrs. Hett?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mr. Krings?
Yes.
Mrs. Raयल?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Medina? Yes. Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Thank you, Marie. Item E, motion to approve resolution authorizing a loan from the Board of Commissioners.
This will provide the funding for all of those projects there's some other additional questions. A petition period which started in July and will be up the end of this week and other things like that. But anyway, so there are some other legal issues out there, but ideally I think we should be able to go ahead with this. This doesn't require you to borrow the money. It just allows you to make the application.
I would move to approve a resolution authorizing the loan from the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for a state trust fund loan in the amount of $11,500,000 for the purpose of financing energy efficiency and capital improvement projects.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve a resolution authorizing a loan from the Board of Commissioners of Public Lands for a state trust fund loan in the amount of $11,500,000 for the purpose of financing energy efficiency and capital improvement projects. We have roll call, please, Maureen.
Mrs. Medina? Yes. Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Raयल? Yes. Mr. Krings?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatt?
Yes.
Maureen. And last item is approved bid request as presented. Looks like we have a whole bunch of different stuff coming through.
Typically, these items will come through business services, but the maintenance department wanted to have, the facility department wanted to get some of these items ordered, and so we're going to go through prior to going through the business services. Last year, I did go through business services. This year, I wanted to get some items ordered.
As I went through it, I did notice that there the went the lowest bidder on every category, which when you looked at it, there's some substantial differences.
They did that, and I questioned that myself, because in some cases it's a small amount of money, but I think the idea is there, it encourages those to, when you spread it to 4 different vendors, it encourages them all to provide the lowest price.
Correct. And some of them were a difference of $35 difference, so I mean, it would be a difference for the different vendors. It didn't look like it's saving the district quite a bit of money overall by using it. Instead of just accepting one lower bid, it doesn't necessarily want to happen. So I'd make a motion to approve all bid requests, results as presented in the document.
Second.
Okay, we have motion and second to approve all bid request results as presented. We have roll call, please, Maureen.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mrs. Lee?
Yes.
Mrs. Hatt?
Yes.
Mr. Bembo?
Yes.
Mrs. Medina? Yes. Mr. Krings?
Yes.
Mrs. Raयल?
Yes.
Ellen?
I just think we should make it known that on items C, D, and E, when we're doing all this improvements of these motions, that we've had a lot of meetings with all kinds of background information in this. So this is not the first time we've seen it. We've had umpteen meetings and lots of questions have been answered.
And just also note, it's the infrastructure of Lincoln High School and several of our other buildings that Lincoln High School was built in, they're open in the 1980s. So all of that stuff is almost 40 years old now, 37 to 40 years old, and air handling units and air conditioning units and everything else as far as part of it was converting and making it much more economical as far as the heat plants going from steam to hot water, which is save energy because you don't have to make steam at 312 degrees as opposed to making it boiling. Or it doesn't even have to be boiling, it just has to be hot water to do 150 to 180 degrees. So there's a lot of energy savings that will come out of this, plus we're doing it proactively rather than reactively, and when you do it proactively, you can plan for it and get better pricing for it. When you do it reactively, you pay the expedite fees and other costs, as Ed explained in several other meetings. Costs go up when you need to react and do it a reactive way as opposed to a proactive.
Well, when these projects are done, Lincoln High School will be positioned very well